Hey, my teeth broke off again. It broke off again. Yes, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to be doing a quick album review on the new Imperial Circus Dead Decadence album. もがりしえふける思いは陸辱すらくらい彼方の生を愛するために命をたたえる. Or the rough English translation is mourning, like mourning, like death, mourning. The desire to indulge in death, even if it is humiliating, and praise life in order to love the life far away. Something along the lines of that. I don't know. But anyways, Imperial Circus Dead Decadence is a Japanese power metal and melodic death metal outfit, and they have been making music for well over a decade, nearly 2 decades already. And they have been creating such a scene in the Japanese metal scene, especially for the West, because apparently they have more Westerners fans than they have local Japanese native fans, and that's really interesting. But anyways, this is actually a huge deal. The release of this album is a huge deal because this is actually their first studio album since 2011. It's been 11 years since they have released a studio album. And even though they have released a couple of EPs in 2014 and 2016 respectively, still it's been a long time since the band has put out anything. But finally they have returned in full form, delivering 1 hour and 12 minutes of material. Now, what you need to know about this band is that there are a lot of members. Thus, there are a lot of sounds, and so much is going on. This album is one of the noisiest and most dense metal albums I've ever heard. Because when you listen to a track, you're literally listening to 5 to 6 layers of guitars, 3 layers of vocals, 2 layers of drums, and I don't know how many layers of whatever just stacked on top of one another, just constantly cascading into one another into one huge, crazy, noisy mixture. And that's basically the band. And they basically do every subgenre of metal almost. They do a bit of black metal with the very dramatic and theatrical instrumentals. The growls are very death metal, but then we have the very clear, very human sounding voices that makes it very melodic and almost like a power metal track. So yeah, they basically smash a lot of genres together, and this is definitely one of the craziest Japanese metal albums I've heard, and I've already heard a few. So yeah, we have the album opener, Misogi Badai no Kamiumi wa no Tamai Magabarai no Shokusai wa Chikao, or the Divine Gift, something. I don't know. It's a very long title. I really love the album titles here. Even though I don't read Japanese, I'm able to read a few kanjis, and they're so goddamn epic. They're so freaking epic. God and blood and heaven and love and death and sin, and it's just like they just throw these big words around in these titles, and it's just so crazy. But right off the bat, we get these flinging drums, the glitchy spoken word, the death metal growls, 7, 8 layers of intense screams. It's so noisy and so epic. It's so crushing. And then the track quiets down and lets in this very decadent female vocal, just bursting into the seams, and it's so freaking angelic. It's unbelievable. It's so epic and apocalyptic. It sounds like it came right out of the Attack on Titan soundtrack. And that is followed with Yoruha Tsumi to Batsu no Rasen, which is Yoruha, the endless spiral of crime and punishment. And once again, it's relentless and noisy and paint. It has a soaring guitar solo, and the track ends off on a really dramatic church-like singing, and it's crazy. And the next track, Fushoku Resentment Fushioku no Sarugakza, is more of the same in my opinion. That is when one of the biggest issues I have with the album starts to shine through, and that is it's not very versatile. A lot of the tracks here sound pretty much of the same, So, especially given that this album is 1 hour and 12 minutes long, I wish they could have cut this album short. It would have been way more pummeling and immediate if they would cut the tracks short. Some of the tracks here are 8 minutes long, 7 minutes long. Goku is one of the lead-up singles to the album. It has the high-speed rhythms, high energy, it's pummeling and speedy. We also have these very gross and wild growls that are just so intense, and overall it's just an amazing single. And that is followed with one of the most aggressive and hard-hitting tracks on the album, Pandemonic Night Parade, where we hear 10 layers of guitars cascading off of each other in the most violent manner possible. It's a really wild and trippy one, and it is amazing. And that goes for the next track, Bring plus Eyes equals Death plus Invite, which is very aggressive, very noisy, and easily a peak in terms of noise and aggression in the album. Then we are followed with Shinbatsu wo Tadori Kyokotsu ni Itaru. This is my favorite track title in the entire album because it has a crazy bones. But yeah, I feel like on this track, this is when the messy structuring of their song starts to become a weakness, because this song literally sounds like 5 different songs smashed together. We have these instrumentals, we have a guitar solo, we have some growls, we have some singing, and it's all coming together in a not so coherent way. But that is followed with a highlight of the album for me. The Black Cherry Tree begs for its death for love, or whatever that means. Kuroki sakura wa ai yueni sono shi wo ko. And what's special about this track is that halfway into this track, it has a really weird theatrical breakdown where we have these orchestral music, these xylophones and bells, and suddenly we get these very demented, murky vocals that doesn't even sound like growls. They're just like a beast screeching, and it just sounds so otherworldly and, once again, apocalyptic. So that's definitely a highlight. And also a highlight would be the next track, Schizophrenic Clown and an Insane Nun. Bunretsu shita doke to Hakkyo no shudojo. And yeah, actually they got another guest female vocal feature here again, who is probably playing the Insane Nun of the track. And we also get these skipping, skittery, jagged guitars, which portrays the schizophrenia of the clown, and it's just awesome. And then we have Yomiyori Kikoyu Kokkoku no Hito Hono no Shoujo Mogari, or Sounds from the Underworld. And it's actually a remake. A lot of the tracks here are actually remake and remaster of songs off of their last couple of EPs. And this one sounds amazing. It's spooky and it's awesome and it's terrifying, and I really like it. Then we have Hitsunaru Kyon wa Kanashiki Kaiko Mode Alpha. So this track is a two-parter. It has Alpha Mode and then it has Omega Mode. And Alpha Mode is one of the relatively tamer tracks here, but because of that, I like it a lot more. It's a lot more passionate and it's more memorable. We get the dejected guitars and the strings and the duetting vocals, and it's just very fantastic. That is followed with the Omega Mode of the track, which is more of the same with group chants and yells, not really all that memorable. And the album ends off on Tensei, Voices from Heaven, which is an epic ending with the choir vocals, the operatic screams, the riveting guitar solos, and the epic group singing, making sure the album ends off on a 100. So yeah, this is a very wild and crazy and dense album, and I like it. I guess my only issue with it is that it's too long. I wish it's shorter. If it's shorter, it would be way more effective. But still, a lot of the tracks here are fantastic. They're dense, noisy, pummeling, insane, wicked, and twisted. And it's definitely some of the finest metal that Japan has to offer this year. I'm giving this new Imperial Circus Dead Decadence album a strong 7 to a light 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to a new album from them? From 1 to 10, would you rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more? And thanks for watching.